Welcome to this special edition of the Good Things Show. I'm Monica Pearson, and it's my pleasure to serve as the guest host today. I say guest host because for over 10 years, only one other person has served as host for this program. But today, he deserves to be our very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, I'm talking about the one, the only Fulton County Commissioner, William Bill Edwards. I've always wanted to do that. You know I'm very fond of you.
Well, that makes me feel good when you say it that way.
Well, you know, I had to come out of retirement, but you're the only person I would come out of retirement to do this show for.
I'm glad to hear that. I feel honored that you would come out of retirement.
Well, I love you and you
not
know
taking
it.
naps.
Yeah, well, I need my naps, and you're going to be taking a lot of them now, too. You know, it was so much fun when I was out here hosting the Gladys Knight Show. The acoustics in this place. Friends of Wolf Creek have recently honored you for making this a reality. And by the way, folks, because we are at Wolf Creek, you know we are close to the airport, so you will be hearing planes. Just ignore them. That's just all a part of dollars, commerce coming into the city of Atlanta. But anyway, how did this beautiful facility come about?
Well, you know, I thought that one thing about South Fulton, we didn't have enough arts, Monica. And I endeavored to make sure that we bring arts to our community. We were going all over Atlanta, enjoying ourselves, Chastain and other places. So why not? So we got the idea of coming to Wolf Creek, cutting the grass, putting the stage in the middle of it. People sat everywhere. We had 15,000 people on this location to come and hear the OJs for free.
Now you act like this was just so easily done. Now be honest. Did people really think it was going to work?
Well, one of my colleagues told me, said, well, amphitheaters don't make any money. And I simply replied to him that, well, you're at 141 Prior Street. This is our offices, right? How much money has it made? So government buildings don't make money. We're not in the profit business, but we don't want to lose money either. So this facility serves the people, and they enjoy it tremendously.
It is fascinating. Now, you were telling me about the stage. It's one of the largest, or is the largest?
The largest stage in the region. And we looked, before we built it, we went out and looked at other amphitheaters. The number one thing that people lack is that we have 60 stalls for the women. And plus you have, in the reserved seating, you can pass by someone and not have to get up or anything like that. So those are little things that we got from other amphitheaters that we put into this amphitheater to make it what it is today.
And what has it done for this part of the county?
Oh, it's been fascinating. You know, if you live anywhere near this facility, your property value is going to go up. The people who live around here within walking distance, they love having it here. They come out, if they don't get a ticket, they get on their balcony and they'll have some food and they'll listen to the entertainment. So it's been a great experience. No complaints from nobody in the community. They love Wolf Creek.
And I like the fact that this was your baby. But I walk around, I don't see anything as a tribute to you. So I'm really glad to hear that the Friends of Wolf Creek are going to put a pillar here, a cornerstone. How does that make you feel that they think enough of you and your contribution?
Well, first thing when I saw it, I thought it was a headstone. But but it was great to do it. I didn't do it for that kind of credit. I did it for the people. And I got to thank the taxpaying citizens of the county who really supported me in this effort. If it had not been for some of the seniors coming down, say, we want our amphitheater, those who came out for quality living services and places like that, they supported me and gave me the backing that I need to convince others, let's do this. And so we did it.
Well, I love the fact that it is such a great place for music, but you also have branded something else, and that I'm very involved in, True Colors Theater Company, Kenny Leon's True Colors Theater Company. I've been serving on the board for years, and we never really had a home, but you gave us a home. You gave the community a home. It's the South Fulton Performing Arts Center and the Southwest Arts Theater. That has become a tremendous success.
Yes, it has been great. Ken has been selling out to, selling out audiences everywhere he's gone there. And Kenny now getting the Tony Award. It's special to us. We're now in the process of forming some type of partnership agreement with Kenny so that we can have him there permanently, but it is his home. And we look for him each and every. He does about 4 shows a year there. And last time I talked to him, he says, I'm going to be in New York, but this has got to be my home. So we're making that possible.
And what's important about that venue, when people come, it's not just all black people. White people come from all the way over the county there to see what is being performed. Was that part of your idea?
Well, I'll tell you, we just wanted to bring people in. One thing that when Kenny first came, one of his contingencies was that, is it going to be diverse? I said, Kenny, you bring the plays, they're going to come. I got to tell you, people of all color, persuasions have been in that facility. Some of the biggest names are people around on the north side have come over here and have really enjoyed not only the plays, but the facility in itself.
Now, how profitable, quote unquote, has it been? What has it done for, again, this part of South Fulton County?
Well, the profit comes not only just dollars, the profit comes into expansion of the quality of life for the people. And that's what I was saying before. Government is about service. And so we spend tax dollars to bring those types of artistic services to the community, but we don't want to lose money either, and we don't.
And the important thing, too, is that you have an art gallery there, which I find fascinating. While you're waiting to get into the play, you can go look at the art gallery. Where did this love for art come?
Well, I tell you, I've already realized that even with children, our children do better when they're exposed to the arts, even in school. So why not have the arts, here in their community where they can be a part of it? We have like workshops for teens and all kinds of stuff going on at South Fulton Performing Arts Center.
Well, Commissioner, your constituents will miss your quarterly listening sessions for sure. And I'm listening to the producers who say, I need to take a break, okay? And when we come back, we'll talk about with Commissioner William Bill Edwards, about his 14 years of service. I can't believe it's been 14 years as a Fulton County Commissioner. So be sure you stay with us. You don't want to miss a thing.
I know we have a lot of issues and we come to you and beat up on you a lot. But those are some things that we need addressed. Tonight, though, I just came up to thank you for hearing the community. We greatly appreciate it and we thank you so much.
Good things are happening. Everybody needs a helping hand. Take a look at your fellow man and tell me what can I do today.
Hey, let me get that for you.
Helping out, if that ain't what it's all about. Tell me what can I do today?
Thank you, young man.
No problem.
Courtesy. Pass it on.
Don't worry about me. I got it.
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Good things are happening.
Welcome back. I'm Monica Pearson, serving as the guest host of the Good Things shows so that we can highlight the hard work and the many accomplishments of District 7 Commissioner William Bill Edwards. Now, the one thing I've loved about you is you don't run from your constituents.
No.
Your quarterly listening sessions, that can be joy or it can be hell.
It can. I got to tell you, think about this a minute, Monica. When we have public comment at our regular meetings, it's held at 10 o'clock in the morning downtown. Well, most of the people in my district are working, and so they don't have an opportunity to come down and voice their opinions. So I came up with this idea of having a listening session in the evenings 4 times a year, where I'll just sit back and listen to them and have all the department heads from Fulton County in the room with me, and most of the times their questions are answered before they leave. So it started off, really hell. I mean, it was complaints after complaints after complaints. And over the last several years, it's been complimentary of the police department, complimentary of the fire department, complimentary of everybody. But there's always compliments, but the buts are really not as harsh as they used to be. So it's been a great experience for me.
Where did you get this idea for this openness? Most politicians don't want to hear from you except when it's time to go to the polls. You have always, I've seen you work a crowd in a room, you're willing to talk to people. Where does this come from?
Well, because I'm not very smart, and I need people to give me their opinions and their ideas, and so I can take those things and formulate some kind of programs that will adhere to what they really need. So listening to the people. This government's about the people, not about Bill Edwards. And so listening to the people is very important as we mold communities into what they want them to be.
And what were the kinds of things that people said to you that were always at the top of the list that you don't hear as much anymore?
Well, things like, when something comes to my neighborhood, I want to know. There's no notification programs. And you go, they should know. They should know, and they should have an opportunity. So we started a community engagement program that which you must, if you come in there with a project, that you must send notification out the inmate within 300 feet of that project. And so things like that have really, really helped me to decide my path over the last 14 years.
Well, you've been good. We've talked about the arts and we've talked about your quarterly sessions. But you know where I've seen you shine the most with two groups, seniors and kids. Let's talk about the youth programs that you've helped to develop that really serve the kids of Fulton County.
Well, we put a lot of money. When I first came in, we had Called to Womanhood and Called to Manhood.
Oh, yes.
Yes. They were great programs, but what I didn't like is that they were only one time a year. They would dress them all up and send them out to the 4-H club, and they would have the rites of passage and all that stuff. But you really never knew a child's name. So what I did was I deviated that a little bit, and I broke it down into youth literature for boys, youth literature for girls, Priceless University, teen dads. And they have been miraculous programs. I've had my boys now since they were in the 3rd grade, and my girls. And they are fabulous. They're learning a lot. Teen Dads has been picked up by Oprah Winfrey and highlighted on one of her shows. So we're glad to have. My youngest teen dad since I've been here has been 14.
14 years old?
Yes, 14. And I've had several teen dads who were like 17 who had 3 different babies from 3 different women. And so what I do, when you come in a program like Teen Dads, you come in as a young man with a baby. Middle age, you're a daddy. When you leave, you're a father. Oh. And so that makes a difference.
What kinds of comments have you gotten from these children when they have been through the program? Talk about the difference it's made in their lives. As you said, go from baby daddy to father.
Yeah. It's amazing how a young man comes in, he has that baby daddy attitude. But when you force him to go buy the diapers and you force him to go buy the formula and you force him to know how to change the baby and do those kinds of things, how things have changed. And even the mothers come up and say they've been a better person having come to this program. Now, we don't advertise this program that much. Mm-mm. All of the guys come from other guys who go out and recruit those guys. And what's special, 2 things happen. The guys who have gone through the program, they come back and they talk to guys, they assist. And the other thing I did not think about was the fact that the moms came to the classes and they brought their babies. And so mom got to learn a lot from being there with the father, and it's just been a joy. And so they see me in the street and say, "Thank you, Mr. Edwards, we really appreciate you. I'm a better father, I got a job, and that's all I care about."
And talk to me about Priceless University.
Well, young ladies are priceless. And, it's an organization from 12 to 17. And, we try to talk to them about life skills and etiquette, how to prepare for college, and just being a young lady. And that program is only a year. We did stretch it to 2 years a couple of years ago because people demanded they wanted more. So Priceless is a very good program.
Now, you also recognize a very popular young South Fulton County football player. As I was driving in over here, there was the sign, home of Cam Newton.
Yes.
Now, how and why did you think that was necessary?
I think that our kids need some inspiration. And just to be able to see that, how many people have come to me and said, their children said, "Who's that sign? Cam Newton lived here?" They did not even know that Cam Newton lived here and was a graduate of Westlake High School. And so when we have good things like that in our community, we must highlight them and make people know that this is a great place to live and your children can blossom and grow. You can come from elementary school to the Heisman in South Fulton County.
Now let's talk about my favorite people, seniors.
Yes.
You've got programs in place for them.
Oh yes, seniors. They're the only people that call me boy.
And you don't mind.
And I don't mind. It's always, "Come here, boy." But I love the seniors. I think that those people have paid taxes, and now there's time to benefit from the taxes they pay. We got some exciting senior facilities all around, and I have endeavored to lift them up, enhance them. We have adult daycare, which is very important because it costs so much for people who are caregivers to have to put their people in private places. But you can come to the county and participate in adult daycare for just pennies on the dollar, and we are very appreciative of that.
Well, I want to talk about when we come back how you've been able to maintain funding for a lot of these organizations. So we're going to take another break, and when we return, we'll take a look at some of the economic development efforts spearheaded by Commissioner Edwards, who's always on your side. So come on back.
You fill up my senses, come fill me again.
Good things are happening.
No matter what your job is, you're fulfilling a service. So when you ride down the street and you see somebody with a Fulton County emblem on their shirt, stop your car, raise your hands, and say thank you to them.
I think it's nice to be appreciated no matter what level you're on. It's always nice to be someone extending the gratefulness for you, saying they appreciate what you're doing, and it's a nice thing.
We're enjoying taking a walk down memory lane with Commissioner William Bill Edwards. He's had 14 years on the commission, and there's so many initiatives. I'm the guest host today, Monica Pearson, and that was the thank you campaign you started for employees. Yeah. So why did you start it?
It was sort of a morale booster. They thought I was kind of crazy what I was doing, but the employees are the backbone of Fulton County, the ones who put in the potholes, who clean the offices and things like that. And I wanted to show them how they were really appreciated. Monica, sometimes we don't have an opportunity to give them raises, but the least we can do is say thank you for the job that you've been doing.
So how do you do that?
We just come up to their office and we bring a cart, we play music, and we just throw confetti, and we just have a good time, and we hug their necks, and they just enjoy it.
And what has been the result of that? What you've seen about their morale? How has it affected how they do their job?
First of all, I think employees respected me as a commissioner. Number two, they respected the job that they've done. They felt that now someone really appreciates what I do. I'm working here, I'm part-time, I'm minimum wage, but someone actually thinks that what I do makes a difference. And so we had a thank you truck. We went out on the street for people who were putting potholes. We pull up in the truck, and we come out with the confetti and all this kind of stuff, and we'll stop them and give them water and all this kind of stuff, and they really appreciate it.
Oh my goodness. Well, you mentioned that you started the quarterly listening sessions to listen to your constituents, but you also started what you called the South Fulton Task Force meetings. Explain that to me.
Oh, the task force people love that meeting. Right. But it was the opportunity. We all do things in our own areas, but I wanted to bring them together like once a month and talk about what we're doing. How can you help? How can facilities and transportation, how can they help parks? How can parks help arts? And so we would sit down and we'd put things on the table, and people would say, well, I can do this, or I can do that. Or, FGTV says, well, I didn't know about that, so we need to put that on the air.
So you made them a team.
I made them a team, and they come kicking and screaming, but they're all right now. But it's an opportunity to find out what we are doing. We don't even know among ourselves what other departments were in the process of doing.
That's amazing. But then government is a large business.
It is, and sometimes you have to break it up and let folks know. We always talk about outside help. You don't need outside help. We can help each other if we just know where our needs are.
And we were talking earlier about the needs of young people, the needs of seniors, the Arts Center, Wolf Creek. How were you able to maintain the funding for these initiatives that mean so much to the community?
Well, you know, here in South Fulton, we had our own budget. The good thing about the people of South Fulton, they believed in me. For example, when I had to raise the taxes in South Fulton, I went out and had 4 meetings. I bought the Ferdinand, the tax commissioner, I bought the appraiser, I bought everybody. And we sat down and said, here's where we are. Here's where your property values are. How do we get to the point where we maintain the same level of service that we already have? And they bought in, and we raised the taxes. Now that's the first part. The second part is after doing that, you got to show them something tangible that you're doing with their money. And we bought in new police cars, built new fire stations, bought new fire trucks. We did a host of things. And once people see that, they're not saying, well, you know, he's just not raising the tax to raise taxes. He's doing it so we can have the kinds of services that we need. And so they became a partner in all of that, a whole episode of how do we get the funding?
Well, living here almost 40 years, I can remember when this part of South Fulton County was basically just trees and pretty much farms, no 4-lane highway. And now when you get off at Camp Creek, you've got these fabulous shopping centers on both sides. You've got grocery stores. You've got everything anyone would want. You've got beautiful homes out here. This is all part of economic development. So what was your game plan? How did you get what was basically a part of the county nobody really wanted to be in to the place everybody wants to be in?
Well, some signs popped up said good things. And you know, I came up with that idea. We came up with that concept years ago, just to change the mindset. So when you talk about South Fulton, talk about good things. And so we endeavored to bring quality housing in, to change the zoning, to make sure that we have acquisition for trees and things of that nature, keep the environment good. And so as a result of that, you can see in South Fulton that when you go to complexes, you don't see houses right near the side of the road because there's always buffers. So it gives you a appearance that there's not many homes, but if you look behind the trees, there are a lot of homes in South Fulton County. We brought in things like roundabouts to be put in our neighborhoods and those kind of zoning deals. So people got caught onto it. They saw that it was in South Fulton, you could be rural, you could be urban, or you could be somewhere in between. Just pick your choice, and that's why they came.
Well, let's talk about some of the business. The Walmart Shopping Center on Old National Highway.
Now, you know, the Walmart Shopping Center sits on what used to be an old lake that was covered
Really?
in. All that was a lake a couple years ago, and they covered it in. We were glad to get our Walmart because no one could have told us in 2014 or 13 or whatever that we would have a new shopping center on Old National Highway. You know, they thought Old National Highway was a bad place to go. But look at it now. We have a host of shops and a host of stores, and we're not finished yet. We got a brand new police precinct coming up, and Old National is going to blossom.
And the Walton Lakes community on Camp Creek Parkway?
That was great. You know, the good thing about Walton Lakes is that, you know, when we build communities like that, we ask that you put sidewalks in front of them. Well, we felt that putting a sidewalk in front of Walton Lakes on Camp Creek was not a good idea. So we told Walton Parks, why don't you just build a trail? And so today, the trail that runs behind Walton Parks is the William Bill Edwards Trail.
I love that.
And it's about
Did you ever walk it?
Twice. At the grand opening. Me and Walter Kimber and some others, we walked it. But it's a very nice trail. It's very secluded. It's really great.
Now, the many developments have generated well over $3 billion, and that's with a B, for South Fulton County.
Yeah. You know, I heard that number some time ago. It's really $3 billion plus. I heard that number some time ago, and I was like overwhelmed. But there's been a lot of economic development in South Fulton County, and it continues today. Of course, there's been a lull in the economy, but we find that things now are picking up, and people are now coming back and attracted to that.
Well, I think it's important that you created an Office of Economic Development in South Fulton County. You know, people always think of doing things on the north side, but you opened their eyes to doing things in the southwest side.
Absolutely, and bringing in these other facilities like the one we're sitting here today and others that attracted people to this side, then adding that with some of the shops and stores, and now we're becoming a great place to look at for living.
Now, explain to me, because this is a new concept to me, of Tomorrow World.
Well, a couple of years ago, a guy by the name of Carl Buchart came to me with a host of people from Belgium. And they had this idea of putting on this festival. It looked like Woodstock, to me, and I said, no way is that going to happen in South Fulton County. But we kept on talking for about a couple of months, and I saw the reality of this. And so Tomorrow World became a reality 2 years ago. The first year that it was here, $83 million was the economic impact to the region. We brought more money in than the SEC did.
Wow.
And this year, we haven't got the numbers back yet, but we're sure that we'll probably at least get that or exceed it. And here's the big part about Tomorrow World. We brought the world to South Fulton County. And Tomorrow World could have gone anywhere in the country from Belgium, but they chose to come here, little old South Fulton, to do their facility.
How did you convince them to do it? Because you're making it sound like they just drove up and said, this is the place. I know you.
Well, actually, they convinced me. They got with Boucard, and Boucard's from Belgium.
Right.
And they saw his lovely place Boucard has. That's where we have our equestrian facility. We do have equestrian in South Fulton County.
Ooh.
And that's where we had our equestrian facility. And they saw all this land and said, we can do it here. And the convincing thing was, well, let's go see Bill Edwards. And so after we talked and stuff, I'm sold. We had some hiccups there for the first year with the community, but the community's been embracing of it. It's 4 days, but it's 4 days of pandemonium.
When you look at how this area has developed in 14 years, do you pinch yourself?
I tell you, God's been good. You know, we have, I've been here for 14 years, I'm hands-on, and everybody knows that. And I listen to people, I listen to the staff, and I try to formulate programs that I think that people would like. I try to make sure that the quality of living is one that they would enjoy. Tennis courts, swimming pools, and things like that you don't have to go outside of your community to get done. And I think we've accomplished a lot of it in 14 years. And yes, sometimes I have to pinch myself to understand that this old boy from Fort Lauderdale got it done.
You know, you may be from Fort Lauderdale, but what I keep thinking is you really are a Georgia boy now.
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, Commissioner, and there's more to come on the Good Things Show, so stay with us.
Good things are happening. Where? In South Fulton County. All right, thank y'all so much.
All right.
And he saw the vision of that and really came alongside us and made things happen for us. And he was very helpful. We couldn't have done it without him. So we're grateful to be able to honor him with that plaque and his name on the trail.
Whoa, dude. You thinking what I'm thinking? Go. We love to work at nothing all day.
Integrity. Pass it on.
Save the day.
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Welcome back. I'm Monica Pearson, and I have had the pleasure of looking back at the many years of public service by Fulton County Commissioner William Bill Edwards. But after 14 years in office, there was no way to get all of what he's accomplished in just 30 minutes. So, sir, we're going to have to continue this conversation with another show. Now, is that okay with you?
That's fine. You know, God ain't finished with me yet.
All right. Well, did you really realize when you were doing what you were doing how much you would accomplish?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Why?
Because I had a vision. And all I had to do was to map that vision out, and then accomplishments would come.
Well, we still have to talk about public safety, initiatives in parks and recreation enhancements. So we'll continue that in the next show. And that's it right now for our time with a commissioner from District 7. It's been my pleasure serving as the guest host for my friend and colleague. So I'll be back again for the final South Fulton Good Things show. We'll see you then.